Past Waco, down there by Fort Hood, so he's semi back home, I guess you could say.
So here's Edwards for SMU up top for Cross. Good reversal to the corner, and it's Aquendo who knocks down the thrust on the steal. Look out.
It's the kind of start Steve Lux wanted.
Alley-oop the other way. It's Harris. Have been trailing by as many as 14. Thompson's pass intercepted. Harris the other way. Aquendo can't be stopped this afternoon.
That's a game changer. Guzman's going to have to sit the rest of the half. And by rule, the officials probably made the right call on the dead ball contact technical, but that should have been avoided 3 different times.
Here's Cross for 3, and it's good. So
Chucky Harris is a mid-range and deep pull-up shooter. Not usually going to beat you off the dribble all the way, but he can shoot it, as this guy can.
Wow. 8,
9, yeah. Hey,
exactly.
Whatever it takes.
We go all the way back. He played in Miami, Louisville, UMass, and now here at SMU. And he's got it in the corner, puts up another 3, and he hits it.
Yep.
Cute. Yeah, it's not necessarily as easy as saying the highest seed or host, because there's certain things that could happen in people's home arena. Here's a wide open dunk by Edwards that he had, and here's what's happening in the second half.
Yeah, no question. He has definitely cooled off. They've done a good job of shadowing him. It's been Newman. It's been, watch out. He's got the ball now.
And he takes it in, and he scores it.
SMU's going to get a fresh 20 here.
Here's Harris. Inside, slamming it home.
High energy, back and forth.
We've had it all day here. On the drive, Harris out to Cross for the lead.
Attention early is just to see which team comes out with a lot of energy and wants to be here.
A little touch from Jacob Hudson off the mark. And the drive from Edwards made a man miss, and SMU gets on the ball. He is an X factor. Hudson inside. Among the trees, no good.
And you can see the pace from SMU picking up a little bit on this end of the floor.
1. And he's got 10 steals the last 3 games.
My goodness.
Dude is locked in. Cross. Great inbound. Pinpoint. And you Schwager lost it. Chuck Harris. Matt Cross. The finish. Taking a 15 seed to the Sweet 16 back in 2013. This is his time of year. Harris crossing the ball. Edwards, stay hot.
Ended up coming back to the bench, back in the game, and good to see him return at a tournament where we've seen some pretty nasty injuries.
And he's, every time he goes out, he's got a little wrap on there. Not sure if it's heat or stem. Probably some soft tissue damage.
Boopy Miller finds an open man. Harris passes it up, spins in for 2, and another hot start for the Orange.
I love when Eddie Lampkin gets involved, that he brings great energy. He talks a little bit, but he's just kind of a fun-loving guy. You can tell that the bench feeds off of his good play down low.
First 5 for the Orange. Here's Ugatolu. Miller, the transfer from Wake Forest, zips it into the corner. Harris passed up the 3. Edwards will hit it.
All right, great example.
Hansen. And then SMU, Edwards gets down the floor ahead of everybody for the layup.
You see that?
First from you, and it's pure.
That's my thing. Don't show me what you can do on this side of the ball and then come down on the defensive side of the floor and play Olay defense. Do it on both sides of the floor and just continue to give effort and energy.
Biggest lead is 5. Ewan, a special player down low for Florida State. Back after missing a couple of games, and boy, did the Noles miss him. It's an FSU team who's lost 4 in a row. Alley-oop flush. Nice feed there.
Huge possession here for SMU. Trying to cut down that deficit. Head to the break.
and a great move by SMU and a great move by Syracuse, changing up their defense a little bit. But SMU with a great counter, having 5 guards out there that can shoot the ball, to spread them out and just get great shots.
What a move past Lampkin from Syracuse. He's dealing with a groin strain. Decided to give it a go here to open up the second half. A big collision there with Cross and Lucas Taylor. Great battle inside, and that's the freshman from Turkey.
You could tell they're coming out here with a lot of energy and a lot of juice because they want him to go out here in Texas with a dub.
8 points, 5 rebounds, closing in on another double-double. He's got 5 in the last 6 games. Here's Cross having it from way outside.
That was from the Tara Vanderveer logo.
Cross can't answer back. Traore grabs the second effort. Igatolu. Harris works it. Edwards on a sidestep and a bullseye.
Great job.
Edwards around the high screen. Harris has to launch. Traore, another offensive rebound. Beautiful pass as Harris found Cross for 2.
The top 15 teams in the conference make the conference tournament, so the Bears equally as motivated here tonight to get a W.
Certainly don't want to deal with the unfortunate embarrassment of missing that postseason tournament. They're going to have to get a
Soto back to the offensive rebound. He missed the shot, but it was Ritas Petritis there to chip it in.
And we talked about Petritis earlier today. He's the blue-collar guy, does the dirty work in the paint. And there you see him winning the extra possession. Make a clean pass.
Clearly, that's part of the game plan. Double team him every time he catches the ball.
And thrown away by Shefflin, trying to cross for Dylan Hunter. Harris for Cross on the drive. Matt Cross, who turned almost like if you thought you kind of had that good year, you might take your foot a little half step off the gas. There was no doing that in the Clemson locker room before the game.
Well, it's funny. They were talking about how they were upset that they had the week off when they were playing so well.
Yeah.
But they have come out here and they have shot the 3 very well early.
Run down by Harris, 5 to shoot. Oh, Chase Hunter back in the game with 3 guards. Zachary and Dylan Hunter. Look at this long 3 from Cross. Meyer returns it to Wiggins. Around catch and dunk.
That one bad for this game.
5 for Braden Shrewsbury. That's his 68th 3 of the year. Colbert, right-hand jumper good.
Everything's going to his spot, and he usually gets there easily, which I think you got to give SMU credit for.
Igatolu turns. Konstantinovsky cannot stop.
See play, they've got 4 quad 1 wins. They did most of it in the non-conference. And so how do you place an SMU team over a team like that from the SEC?
Well, especially when they're getting, you do it because they're getting beat by 25 and 30 points now by quad 1 teams. So
infield here in year 1. Serta missed everything. Under 10 to play now, and the Mustangs again on the attack. Seemed like that's been a common refrain tonight for us, huh?
Well, you know, we got to give the Mustangs a lot of credit. They haven't let up at all.
Nope.
In the second half, even though.
All right, we'll do that. There's Tay Davis.
And both teams, interesting to see SMU going with some full court pressure on them after the free throw.
Yeah.
Why?
8:18 to go. You got Chuck Harris, B.J. Edwards, Samet Igatolu is coming to the game. Here's Tibet Gorner, fellow Turkish player. And there's a 3 for Karen.
10 of his last 12 games has gone over 20. 32, a career high for him at Boston College in overtime game. So when you see him struggle the way that they have, Coach, I'm with you. You got to give SMU's defense a tremendous amount of credit.
Yep, there goes Igatolu. He scores with the right hand.
For a jump shot right here. You want to get in the paint and get an opportunity right there.
Harris off the feed from Oquendo. Colbert skies for the offensive rebound. Plenty of time for SMU with the shot clock off. Oquendo's not going to wait. He was open, and why not? Double team from the perimeter, swing it around to the corner. Juke Harris off the mark. Chuck Harris for SMU gives to Oquendo, and with a full head of steam, he can get to the rack. The fact that he's not shot it well from the floor.
When you're not shooting the ball well, what do? You put your head down and get downhill and try to get opportunities at the rim.
Team from beyond the arc.
And as I said before, I know Coach Cable is not happy. He told them every time Matt Cross catches the ball, there should be a high stick hand because he will shoot it from anywhere on the court.
Well, 4 of the 5 SMU starters have scored. Boopie Miller now has a pair of threes.
One from the twin. Missed shot, you can't get discouraged by it, but they get active on the ball and on the floor and get an open shot for low.
Come on, man. Which twin is it? You got to tell me.
They look alike.
They do. When they don't have like one of us older guys. I like that, Theo.
Come on, man. Let's expand this game a little bit. 30-second shot clock. Way too long.
Yes.
Way too long.
I'll go with 24.
Yeah.
There's the second defender immediately. Doesn't matter. Yigitolu.
Opportunity for the Hokies. They've missed their last 7, make it 8. And finally, Cross snags the carom.
But that's okay. Virginia Tech got really good looks on that possession, and I know the coaching staff will be proud of that.
Oquendo off the shot fake.
You see the spacing SMU has. They're looking for dribble drives and kicks. That's their offense. That's the way they like to play.
And it gets Boopie Miller. At only 20% from 3. Stolen away. Reynaud can't even.
And he has the ability to score inside. With turn over either shoulders, big, it's physical. He wants to feel your body and then spin the other way.
Cross a corner 3. Got it.
Not the guy you want.
Game, and this is a Cal team playing with a lot of confidence despite the injuries to Stojakovic and Sissoko. They are in. I love it. And Mark Madsen was telling us that Cal's used to playing, in the Pac-12 where everyone's dropping. SMU, they're not.
There's that hedge on the ball screen.
10th steal of the night, the steal.
Lead. It was as much as 24 in the first half, and let's see from the start if there's a little Moody magic. Can the Mustangs make this interesting here in the second half?
Yeah, I think patience. Again, obviously, you gotta be patient, but I think the biggest issue they got to figure out is defensively. It was just too easy for Louisville in that first half.
Yigitolu do a nice job getting the big guy involved.
I told him I better not see him with any Cowboy boots, but I'll live with a Cowboys hat, I guess.
A rare miss for Rain Smith, who has made 6 triples tonight. Cross wide open. Got it.
From the outside, can't get it, and here comes SMU. Boopie Miller runs the show with the point. They go with a small lineup. Second time they've used this in a row. Worked well for them last time against Georgia Tech with B.J. Edwards, Chuck Harris, Samet Yigitolu, and Matt Cross.
Well, look, the first time Virginia and SMU played, actually Virginia had the lead, was playing really well, and then Day, their point guard, ended up getting.
Have been off and running, 10 of 17 from the field, and have been in control pretty much from the opening tip. And with that, Andy Enfield can feel comfortable leaving his star point guard, Boopie Miller, on the bench with his 2 fouls. Good gathering.
That's a tough finish by Terry, and he has to get going get these guys back in the game.
Yeah, he is a triple threat scorer, among the best shooters in the ACC, 3rd in the league in three-point shooting and the ability to finish in the lane. Oquendo from downtown.
Ian Jackson pushes it to a 17-point Carolina lead. SMU's missed their last 7 shots from the floor.
Jackson just looks like a basket waiting to happen.
Yep. That's what the kids call a bucket, Dan.
Well, that youngster from Richardson, Texas, just north of Dallas here near the SMU campus. He's a transfer from Tennessee. He's a good one.
Firing right back, Matt Cross.
For a moment, you know, there were some contentious sequences, very quick ones earlier in the first half, so not surprising to see something like that happen. Oh, Colburn cutting to the rim.
Well, had the reputation certainly as a shooter coming out of high school. Great defense by Ambrose Hilton on the rejection there. Harris lays it off. Big man back in the game and doing what he's done the whole game.
Yeah, and it's, you know, SMU does a lot of damage from the free throw line.
Yigatolu, the big story in the first half. It's been Oquendo in the second. Here is Yigatolu. What a beautiful spin move.
His skill level to go with it. He'll be a great weapon. And, you know, the second half's been tough for Alabama State, mainly because of foul trouble a lot.
Oh, wow. It goes in!
How about that? Or he can be a big guard and be explosive and use his skill. He's going to be a big asset for ACC play.
Good defensive play by Gorner, not fouling on the smaller knots. Oquendo, he's on a heater and has 7 in a row. By
this young man came in heating it up. Again, we talked about all the scoring options. He is another one of the bucket getters on this squad. Doesn't do it the same way as the other guys. He doesn't dribble as much. He doesn't have all the fancy moves, but boy, is he effective in filling up the stat sheet when it comes to scoring. Here's another one.
10 straight.
Kugel went right over Cross that time.
Cross had the position.
Yeah.
Riley Kugel, the hops.
So 6. Coach Irvin Davis.
Long 3 by Horton around and out.
Yeah, rest in peace to Coach Davis. And Clemson transfer had 22 points last game. Definitely another talented player who can score on this Prairie View roster.
Ambrose Hilton pulling the trigger. Good extra pass to the corner. Anderson keeps the pivot foot on the ground, leans in, just misses. Ambrose Hilton secures it. Out to Harris, running the break. Doubled. Cross left open from the wing, rolls down. Extends their lead out to 6. Twisting into the lane, but missing the backhanded lay-in. Anderson. SMU wants to go 4 on 3. Corner for 2 off the assist by Harris.
But they are definitely hooping and getting it done.
Chuck Harris right now at the point guard spot. Lobs it and double. That's 11 and 9 for the big man from Turkey. George, that's a 3. Bombs away.
Butler foul was on Andre's screen. Here's Matt Cross with the ball for SMU. 2 points shy of 1,000 in his collegiate career. Keon Ambrose Hilton. Oh, and he throws it down. More perfect 4-4 from beyond the 3-point line. The slip to Colbert, and he is fouled.
A little bit of a gamble there. We talked about SMU's ability to get steals, but that time the gamble made them pay. A dangerous three-point shooting team, UNCG, as they hit 12 in their opener against Florida Gulf Coast. 10 of those in the first half.
Under 2 minutes left in the opening half. Swish. Forward is Colbert into the game for the first time. Edwards facing up Polite, now getting it over to Harris. Harris feeding Cross.
Do it one more time, he said to his wife and family. And similar story because when he got to USC, they hadn't won yet at the high level in the long.
Late in the shot clock now. That is not where FAMU wants to be. And Oquendo takes it away inside the lane. Quickly up the floor. Edwards flying for 2. Points. It has not been simple against SMU. Benjamin, corner 3. Clangs off. Rebound to Harris.
With his hands to deflect the shot attempt by Harris.
Brass averaging nearly 30 points a game last year in high school, but can do it defensively as well, evidently. Chuck Harris to the corner. Miller sets his feet, fires for 3. No, somebody's open. And it ends up being Caleb Evans for the bucket.
Well, that was a nice cut without the basketball by Caleb Evans.
Scoring from the field, Joseph Martinez.
Yeah, nice turnaround jumper that time by Martinez. Very patient. Read the defense.
Aquendo wants another one. Same spot and same. For Tarleton, their next game is Saturday at home. They will take on Sam Houston, their former foe in the WAC and now currently in Conference USA. Another